we need to focus on keeping, like, as much as we can, keeping a lot of the processes by which we do things organic. I'm not talking about like the way you eat. That's wrong place. You're in the wrong place for that. I'm talking about like the process by which you create things, your creativity, you handle your problems, and you learn things. I think technology has kind of, obviously it's changed the way the world works, and it's brought a lot of good, but I think one thing it kind of doesn't help with people's ability to like manage their own emotions and manage the way they feel or even the way they think. And I'm not a hater, but everybody's got like a Chat GPT script. We're missing that thing that's like human. And I think, when it just comes to like mass producing things, I do think technology wins. I'm not gonna lie. When we're talking about like the it factor, that comes from people. That doesn't come from a lot of the creative processes that people go through, and even like the learning processes now are just so much shorter. They're so much more automated, and you miss out on like the small things that you learn about being human in those moments. You learn how to read body language. You miss out on, understanding subtleties, because the devil is in the details. It's the small things that'll win you the most battles. And I don't think it's a problem having outside influence when it comes to a creative process, but as far as having a artificial influence, to me, it's just, it takes from the art. Like, that's one thing that we as humans have the ability to do, is create art, to create. That's unique to us. No other species, no other creature does that as far as we know. And when you decide to bring in some, artificial process, you are literally removing the one thing that makes you special. And don't get me wrong, man, work smarter, not harder. If you can use any type of technology to make your job easier, great, definitely with that. But it shouldn't remove from the creative element. That creative element is you. And that's what the world is missing. That's what, we're missing, is you. Is that piece of you that you can offer and only you can offer. Unfortunately, the organic process is a little bit slower. And I keep saying organic, somebody's going to think I'm talking about food. I'm not talking about food, man. An organic process is going to take a longer learning curve, more pain, more losses, more confusion, like not knowing what you're doing. But inevitably, you're going to learn more in those moments. I feel like I always say that. And you'll be better for it. You'll be a better human being for it, as crazy as that sounds. I do think that, you should work smarter, not harder, but make sure that you don't use that in so much that it removes the you portion of it. And that everything you do almost seems like what someone else is doing. And that's what we do with a lot of this music even that we hear, and it sounds similar to other songs. And there's waves and there's genres, so it's not entirely that way, but the people who stand out are the people who do something slightly different. Drake was singing and he was a rapper. Sorry, it's just the way it goes. It's the people who do something a little different that are gonna cause the most commotion, and eventually those are gonna be the people that everybody loves. It just always seems to work out that way. So you miss the opportunity when you let artificial processes come into that, because an artificial process, like I mentioned, is programmed off somebody else's or some other, preconceived information that you know what I'm saying. Yeah.